Hi guys, today is the second episode of tutorials on Python. If you're watching my channel for my Bash tutorials, don't worry, they will be back soon. But I just want to teach Python. So as you can see here, we have our quiz. We have our quiz thing open. That's because we are going to be adding new features and making it better. But first, we are going to learn about we're going to learn about a couple different data types. So first is the list. So the list data type is basically in a collection of objects that's mutable, which means it can change. You'd think that it can obviously change, but we'll see why that's not the case in a second. So first, so we can call the list my list equals. This is the list data type. They have these two brackets surrounding it. Also, if you're new to Python and you haven't seen my first video, please go check that out. There should be one of the little banner. If it's not there, then it should just be on my channel. Anyway, so this is the list, and a list can be a collection of any objects. It could be a boolean, it could be integers, it could be floats, it could be strings, or it could even be a mix. So we could do like hi, 5, 23, true, and 9.86, or 9.86, sorry, or whatever. So you can see that we have all different data types. We have a string, we have an integer, we have a boolean, and we have a float. So in this video, we are going to be going over lists and a couple new ways of iterating through them. So one way of iterating through a list is you go for, and then you'll have the variable name of what you want the item you can call through each iteration. This is where you set the variable name. There's no equal signs those. So you can say for item, that's what I'm going to call my variable, in my list. Or whatever you call your list. And you can say print item. And now it's going to go through every single item in this list and print it. So let's look at that. We can call this loops.py, because we are going to be looking through different loops. Hi, 523, true, and 9.67. And if you look up here, you can see all of those different values. So we can even, we don't have to just print the item. We could go names equals, Todd and Jeremy and Max. Then we gotta change this to names. And you always are gonna want to choose a variable that accurately represents a variable that accurately represents what you're actually looping through, just to stop confusion. So we could do for name and names. Remember the F string trick? Let's try that. We can do F string, and then quotes, and then let's say hi, and then in the curly brackets or braces, you say hi name. So if we run this, hi Todd, hi Jeremy, and hi Max, it greets all three of them. So now we're gonna look through our second data type of this video, which is a set. So a set is much like a list, except they have one main change, which is a list is mutable, which is changeable, but a set is immutable, which means not changeable. So if we want to make a set, we can say my set equals, and in parentheses, and then type in your items that you want in your set. Like let's say Max, Todd, and Mia. No errors here. And now now we can try and change it. The way you access an item in the set, we just went over this. The two brackets and let's say 0, because I want the first item. That first item equals, how about Jeremy? See how we get this error? Set object does not support item assignment. That is because you can't change an item in the set. But if we change these to brackets, which are so that's a list, we can see no errors. And now we can use the list we just learned about for name, and my, except it's not really set anymore, but we can do my list for name in my list. We can print name, and we can look at this, and we can see we have Jeremy, Todd, and Mia. But if we make this a comment, now it's Max, Todd, and Mia. So now we just learned about lists and sets, and there's going to be one more data type that we look at before we look into making our own functions. Some functions that are already in Python, the print function where you print, the integer and input function where you turn a string into an integer, or you get input. And those are some different ones that we use in this code. So, but first let's look at a dictionary. So we'll do my dictionary equals, we're going to use the same curly braces. This actually starts out as a dictionary until you put an item into it. Then it turns into a set if it's just a single item. Because we can do type, which is another function. Type just shows the type or the data type. So print type my dictionary. You run this. Class dict. Oops, it's a dictionary. And So now this is the syntax of the set. You have the name or whatever as the key, which is how you find it. It's like a dictionary. There's the key in the dictionary, like where you find a thing, and then the definition, right? So my dictionary equals the key could be name 1, Todd, and you can add multiple. Also, of course, you can have integers, booleans, or floats here, but we need this right here to separate the key and value. Mia, instead of just name 2, not name 1. So now we have the keys. If we want to call an item in this dictionary, we'll go my dictionary. And then the same way of calling a list, except you call the key. So name 1. Instead of printing name 1, it prints Todd, because that's the value of name 1. We can look through the keys just by going for name in my dictionary. You can print name, except what do you think will print? Do you think we'll print name 1 and name 2, or Todd and Mia? Name 1 and name 2. That's because when you iterate through a dictionary, it iterates through the keys, not the values. But if I did instead my dictionary name, now we can see Todd and Mia, because it's going through all the different names. So that's how you can use a dictionary to your advantage. But now let's learn about some simple functions. So how you make a function, you say def, which means define. You're defining a new function, and then the name of your function. Let's say greet person. And then you put in 2 brackets, and here are your parameters, just as we looked at before. So the parameter of print, these parameter of int, parameters of input. That's basically what you put in to the function. So here we'll have greet person name or person. And after you greet person, in the function we'll say print hi, make sure it's an F string, of course, person, and now we could say greet person Todd. It might look like a print because of the name, brackets, parameters, because it's our own function, of course. It'll say hi Todd, and we could even combine some of the stuff that we've learned. We could have 3-person people. Here, we can make our own function. It's a little bit more complicated, combining a lot of the stuff we learned. If I describe person, and then people, and this is supposed to be a, right here, this is supposed to be a dictionary that they put in. So for person and people. Oh, I mean to do that. We print this function will just describe the person and what they do. So in brackets we'll put person is a, and then in more brackets because we need more than one, people person. This is going to be the value of that key, which the person key. And now in here we'll put Todd salesman, Mia artist, and Max is let's say firefighter. Firefighter. So now if we run this, Todd is a salesman, Mia is an artist, and Max is a firefighter. So that's a way to describe people with a dictionary. So now we'll be using a lot of this to improve our quiz. So we can add a couple things like here we can make a couple functions. Well, no, we don't. Just for now, we can. The total questions right now is 2, and then you can print. You completed the quiz. Print. Well, first, at the very top, we will make a score variable. So we'll just start out at 0. Score equals 0, and you score out of 2, because there are 2 questions, and if correct, we score plus equals 1 because we're adding to the score, and if correct, score plus equals 1. Now we can run this. How old am I? I'm guessing 12. And is your name Jack? Nope. You scored 1 out of 2. And so that's a way of just adding a simple score. And we can, now we'll have now we're gonna have a function that just it says welcome. This isn't gonna have any parameters. This is just gonna say welcome the player. Welcome. And we'll say print what is your name, and then name equals inputs name. So And now at the end, we can say, good job. Good job name. And at the end, we will return name. Return basically gives the value of whatever you're returning to if you put in a variable. This is how this works. It returns whatever you type in, and it's assigned to a variable. It won't print anything. It just returns silently. So if we did welcome or name equals welcome. Also, the reason that this isn't recognized by here is because this does not exist until it is run. If that makes sense. Name equals welcome, because that's what it's returning. What is your name? Jameson. How old am I? 14. Your name's the same as my name. Yay. Good job, Jameson. You completed the quiz. You scored 1 out of 2. So, that's how that works. And that's just a simple improvement of the quiz, but here we can let's create a new file, because we're gonna make a new calculator. So make a new Python file. You'll save it as calculator.py. And once that's saved, we we'll say welcome to calculator. Print what would you like to do? And now 1 add 2 subtract 3 multiply and 4 divide. Just all the 4 main operations, other than, I guess, exponents, but we don't need to do that. Sure we can. So we can do option equals input option, just for our player to know that you're choosing their if option is 1, then we can just pass is basically like a placeholder. In common code, you shouldn't be using pass too often, because it's just a placeholder for something. But I'm just gonna use it while I'm saying the rest. And I don't know if we covered this, but elif or elif or else if is, if it's not the first one, then check if it's this one. It's only if the first one is not true. And now, but if the difference between that and else is if I had else, it would run no matter what, but this only runs if this is not true and this is true. So else if option is 2, we can pass else if option 3, pass, and we can just copy and paste as long as we fill in the gaps. So now we'll make a couple functions at the very start. So now define sum A and B, and then we return A plus B. That's self-explanatory. You're just adding A plus B. Def subtract A and B, of course. And then we return A minus B. Multiply A and B. Here's where it's not so intuitive because we don't use an X like you do in multiplication or whatever it looks like. You do a little star or the asterisk on your keyboard. A times B. For divide, you don't have the divide sign, so you just use the a forward slash, and of course you gotta change the name. I forgot to do that. And exponent will return A with 2 stars instead of just 1, and that's A to the B power. So prints first number and then of A equals input and now we'll just do the same for B, except it's the second number. And this will actually be the exact same for all of these. So we can just replace the paths with these by copy and pasting, or if you want to type it in, then you can do that. Because we always are going to need to know the first number and the second number, but it's what we do at the end, which is different. And now we say print sum A and B. Except we can change this because sum is different from the rest of them. Because the sum is the result, but whatever. Add A and B. And now here we print subtract A and B. Here we print multiply A and B. Divide A and B. And now for the exponent is the exact same thing. Prints exponents A and B. So now if you run this, welcome to the calculator. What would you like to do? Add, subtract, multiply, divide, or exponents? That just ignore that. First we can start with add. Oh, that's weird. Why is that happening? Huh. Um. Oh, of course, because I forgot the int. If you noticed that, then good job. So now just just change these inputs to inputs because we need that for all of these. What do you want to do this? Just sorry, we did. So these two. It's input by background. It just take a second. We'll have done job wording and drop that. Okay, and once you're done, just run it, and we can try adding 3 and 87,652, and we get A plus B, which is add A and B just turns A plus B. No, I forgot to change this first thing. I'm gonna need to edit some of this out, but and input, and now just run this again, because if you add 2 strings, it's that string plus another, which is, I haven't mentioned that yet, but that's the thing. And now, if we do that, now we have 87,535, which is right. And we can do 2, because we want to subtract 3 minus 78, negative 75, that's true. And we can just do this for all of them. Multiply 4 and 65, 260, which is true. The exponents work. First number, we can do 60 and 60th power. That's a pretty long number, but it does work. The only thing that you might want to know is about the division, which when you divide, you'll get a float instead of an integer. But even if you do something that wouldn't result in decimal, like 6 divided by 3, which would be 2, it's still a float, because it's still a float because I'm blanking out, sorry. It's still a float because you could divide by any 2 numbers, and most of the time it will result in a decimal. But sometimes when you divide, I don't know if I'm gonna get an example of that here, but sometimes when you do divide, it will be way too specific, something like this, even though you don't need all the zeros. That's just how computers work. That's not really something that you can fix, but even sometimes they don't get it wrong, like something like this might happen. Computers are very bad at dividing, but yeah, so that's calculator. I hope you enjoyed this video. We got to improve our quiz, learn about lists, sets, and dictionaries, make our own functions, and make a calculator. Thank you for watching, and bye.